Hello students. In this video, I'll begin with the explanation of the third section of the poem In Memory of W.B. Yeats by Auden. I'll first read out the section and give you the meaning of difficult terms. Earth receive an honored guest. William Yeats is laid to rest. Let the Irish vessel lie. Vessel here refers to the body of W.B. Yeats. Let the Irish vessel lie, emptied of its poetry. Time that is intolerant of the brave and innocent, and indifferent in a weak to a beautiful physique. Worships language and forgives everyone by whom it lives. This particular stanza is also talking, the poet is talking here again about time. Worships language and forgives everyone by whom it lives. It here refers to time. Pardons cowardice, conceit, lays its honors at their feet. Conceit here refers to pride or vanity. Time that with this strange excuse pardoned Kipling and his views. Kipling here refers to Rudyard Kipling, who was a British poet and novelist. Time that with this strange excuse pardoned Kipling and his views, and will pardon Paul Claudel, pardons him for writing well. Now, Paul Claudel, he was a French poet of Roman Catholic belief and is believed to be of fascist views. In the nightmare of the dark, all the dogs of Europe bark, and the living nations wait, each sequestered in its hate. Sequestered means isolated. Intellectual disgrace stares from every human face, and the seas of pity lie, locked and frozen in each eye. Follow, poet, follow right, to the bottom of the night. With your unconstraining voice, still persuade us to rejoice. Unconstraining here means uncontrolled, without any restrictions. With the farming of a verse, make a vineyard of the curse. Sing of human unsuccess in a rapture of distress. Rapture means bliss, ecstasy, joy. In the deserts of the heart, let the healing fountain start. In the prison of his days, teach the free man how to praise. In the third section for the first time, Yeats is referred to by name. Conventionally, an elegy explains right at the beginning just who it is that the poet is mourning. Here, Auden reverses this practice by mentioning it in the final section. Here, Yeats is referred to as an Irish vessel, a body meant to carry only poetry and not the problems the speaker brought up at the beginning of section 2. Auden also gives some of the specifics of Yeats' death, particularly the time of his death. Yeats died in 1939, just as the world was gearing up for World War II. Yeats and Auden shared the sentiments of many of their fellow artists and intellectuals who were dismayed at the thought of another world war. The speaker paints the impending war as a sort of nightmarish unreality. The third stanza of this section doesn't seem to have anything to do with Yeats, the man himself, or the man in particular. Auden perhaps believes that a good way to pay homage to someone is to spend some time thinking about his views and concerns. He goes on to admire how Yeats combines realism with rejoicing. The poet is a figure that lives on through Yeats' poetry and isn't necessarily attached to Yeats, the man. Poetry is now channeled into a single image of a healing fountain. The poem holds out hope for the possibility of life and growth. In the deserts of the heart, let the healing fountain start. The way Auden crafts these lines is an invocation of Yeats' poetic powers. The last lines of the poem sound depressing because life is described as a prison. However, there is a hope for the future because the free man can learn how to praise, how to appreciate. Auden's final approach to this elegy is interesting and thought provoking. He doesn't want Yeats to live forever or his poems to be immortalized. He wants people to read and think and possibly become better by reading Yeats' poems. So, in the final section of this poem, having addressed the burial of Yeats, Auden concludes by addressing the shade of the dead Yeats again, asking him to persuade us to rejoice and to heal us with the fountain of his work. The final couplet sees Auden commanding Yeats, Yeats the poet, for Yeats the man has gone. He requests or commands rather Yeats to teach the free man, the living person, to praise and celebrate in the short time allotted to them. Throughout, in memory of W.B. Yeats, there is a taut restraint that prevents the poem from spilling over into mawkishness or sentimentality. Auden describes the day of Yeats' death as a dark, cold day. But this is objectively true rather than mere pathetic fallacy or romantic expression. Of course, this doesn't discount the possibility that Auden feels the day of Yeats' passing to have been cold and dark in a more abstract, even metaphysical sense. But it is also something on which all of the instruments can agree that it was cold and it was dark. So the poem in memory of W.B. Yeats is a powerful one, not just about Yeats, but about all poets whose work can teach us how to praise. These final words of Auden's poem are fittingly enough inscribed on the poet's own memorial stone in Poets' Corner in Westminster Abbey. So, with this, we complete the explanation of the poem in memory of W.B. Yeats. Thank you.